It's time to dust off your favourite chair and sit in front of the big screen TV. Get a drink in your hand because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Your number one host, the Thunder from Down Under, a band on a quest to make money for beer. Sparring DK presents Relegation Regen Rebuild PSG. Hello and welcome to a new video. This one is to do with our upcoming series, Relegation Regen Rebuild. Now, I have given you a couple of votes over the last few weeks on which direction we wanted to go in. Originally, we were going to try and do a championship side, which got a lot of votes. But I've decided that I put the new vote out, and most of the votes for that one were for the Relegation Regen Rebuild series. Just be nice to start a new, fresh career mode. So we are doing that with PSG. Now, I've got a few things I need to cover today. Get your guys' involvement, explain what rulings we're going to be using this season, and just show you a couple of other things. Now, just quickly backtracking onto what we're going to do with the Youth Edition once that finishes. There is a possibility that I could do a continuation of that series and maybe take it over onto Twitch and start doing some live streaming. Now, it might be at some really odd hours, but you can obviously go back and watch those videos if you're that way inclined. If that's something that you would like to maybe see happen, let me know in the comments section, and I'll see if, you know, maybe once a week we can get a bit of a stream going. Maybe we will do that whole get fired and pick a team and chase the ace. But anyway, we're moving on with Relegation Regen Rebuild PSG. Now, I've got a few things to cover in this one. There will be a lot of voting for you guys to do, and I need to get your guys' involvement in the comment section, and I'll explain things as we go along. I'm aiming to hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can get set up and ready. It's just a little bit tricky because I've got a lot going on this week, but possibly, if all goes to plan with the Youth Edition, and we break through that one and get that one finished, we'll look at possibly starting that one next weekend. So we'll see how we go. I've mapped it out. If we win all of our games in the Youth Edition and we make it through to that Champions League final, it should be wrapping up sometime next week. So following on from that, if I need some time, I'm going to drop a few extra journeymans if you've been following that series. But if I do get the time to get this done, obviously I need your input. We will hopefully start this series in the next week or two. It will start on a weekend though, just so that you have as much opportunity to get stuck in to the first episode. But anyway, let's get into the first bits and pieces. The scouts. Now, I always give you guys an opportunity to vote on who the 3 scouts should be, usually from our former series, and that will be the same for this one. So I've gone through and looked at the Atletico Madrid series. If you followed that one, you will know these players. If not, I've got some cards and stuff popping up and around on the screen in post-edit, so you will be seeing that now. So we've got 5 players that I've chosen here. We've got Amaral, who is a big Portuguese lad, centre-back, quite controlling. Could be handy. Jose Manuel, one of the heroes there from the midfield, 82 rated central defensive midfielder. Of course, Aguado is our manager. I decided to go with him. Luciano Arnos is another option here, 91 rated striker if you want him as a scout. I'll just have these 5 up in the eye vote, and the top 3 will go through. We've got Sancho Gallardo, who was our scout future star, and of course Lavado, who once we brought the media watch in, had a little bit of an issue, a little bit of drinking problem. But yeah, anyway, if you're familiar with the series, get voting. We'll get some of those guys in there as the scouts, and just give us a little bit more of our own, DK approach. But let's get into the rules that I've come up for this year's Relegation Regen Rebuild. Now, League One, people will definitely say that it's a very easy league, and with only 2 systems, yes, it's going to be a little bit easier than we think. But that's where I got thinking, how can we make this a little bit tougher? So I've got some rules in play. They're going to pop up on the screen right now. Now, the first one is I'm going to put a transfer ban on them, as per usual. We're going to go with a backstory here that PSG have been fined $100 million, and they cannot make any signings until they have generated that $100 million. So we can sign free agents, we can sign youth academy players, but we can't sign anyone else until that $100 million is paid off, and that is going to be an interesting challenge. So the maximum we can sign is 2 free agents per season. No matter where we are in the career mode, only 2 free agents are allowed to be signed. So that's sort of pegging us back on spending cash as well. We're going to have a lot of cash because we are PSG. We'll get the 5-star scouts and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to make things a little bit more interesting. all transfer offers must be accepted until the debts are paid. So if we get a nice potential to be special striker, he's worth 10 million or something, and we haven't hit that paid that debt off, and the club comes in and wants to buy him, bam, no negotiations, no nothing, he's got to be sold. So you can see us losing quite a few players nice and early, and making things a bit more of a struggle for us to get out of that second division. Our Scout Future Start, of course, is exempt from that. We'll only be using one Scout Future Start as normal, and we'll sign him in the first season. And of course, we can only sign youth players and regens in this career mode. Now, we can't sign any regens from anywhere else until we've paid off that $100 million debt. Now, the debt can only be paid with player sales. We can't get this from season money, from objectives, from winning titles, trophies, anything. It's got to be completely from selling players. So that means we have to sell $100 million worth of players. Now, you get up to an 85 rated player, you might get 50 or 60 million for that kid there. That means we're going to have to sell near on 20 absolutely star players just to get that fundamental completed. It's going to be tough. We're not going to be able to buy any players, so a lot of youth emphasis on this one until we get that debt paid, and then we can go on and start signing regens from around the world. Okay, so that is all the rules. The other thing I did want to cover is the Regenero, which is our, our voted system for our player of the season. Now, we brought this in last year. We've tried it out in the youth edition, and generally towards the end of it, people start not voting and not caring because a lot of people just vote for the strikers. So, I've got some ideas. Let me know in the comment section if this sounds like a better idea, or even if you want the Regenero. There will be a vote, do you want the Regenero, yes or no? But here's my ideas on how we can manipulate this a little bit more. So you guys will get a vote, of course, and they'll get 3, 2, 1 votes for, the top 3 as per usual. But then I was thinking maybe we could add some sort of way that the calculation comes in for, one, their game rating. Maybe they get that many points. If they get 8.1 or something, they get an 8. Rounding it up or down, or there could be a manager style vote as well, where I pick my favorite 3. So you get 3, 2, 1 from my votes, 3, 2, 1 from the community votes, and maybe their player ratings go in as well, and that will just create a full-on point system that could be completely above and beyond me. But it is an idea just to try and make that part of the series a little bit more palatable, that you guys actually want to get involved and watch that live stream and Regenero count. So let me know, there's a vote there, do you want a Regenero or not? And let me know in the comment section, any ideas for the point system. Right, so that's all the formalities out of the way. I want to show you one other thing, and this is how I'm going to make League One very, very tricky and very, very difficult. So we're going to jump over now, and here we are on FIFA. So, I've actually used my custom rosters video to do some changes. And what I've done is I haven't affected any of the European clubs because obviously there's Champions League football. But what I've done is I've gone and rated the Chinese League, Japanese League, Korean League, Argentinian League, the MLS, whatever, and found a whole heap of players that were 80 plus rated and added them in throughout all of the teams here in France, as well as taking all the PSG players and putting them through League One as well. So all of these teams have a lot more players and high rated players, so it's going to be a lot stronger competition. So let's have a quick look here. So we've got Amins or Amiens, I don't know, I'm going to murder names as per usual, but they've got some players in there. Paredes now, Bakumbu is 82, Danny Alves is playing there at right back. Angus, Podolski there up front, Vieira's in here as well, Kimpene is at centre back, so a couple of players thrown here and out. The big teams like Monaco I didn't touch, I just let them go because they're already a high rated team, just trying to balance out this Saint Etienne, Villa and Gusto, looking okay. Dion, who have they got? Hamsik, okay, Verratti, and Meunier there at right back. Trapp is their goalkeeper. So a few key players have been brought in to strengthen these teams and make this league a lot more competitive. Mbappe and David Villa up here, up front. Carrasco's in this team as well. So, they've got some players. Nantes have got Paulinho and Di Maria there on the right. Bordeaux, what have they picked up? Talisca on the left, Marquinhos at centre-back. We've also got Lille with Gomez, Neymar, Pepe, Dembele, So, you know, these teams have got some players now. Rabiot playing here for Montpellier. We've got Draxler, Iniesta, and Mascherano in here in the midfield. So that's quite strong for them. Nice have picked up Oscar. Dante there, I'm pretty sure he was already there. Carrillo up front. Olympique Lyon we didn't touch. Marseille I don't think we touched. PSG, look, we're a half-star team, but obviously we'll be going back into the League 2. And these are all just free agents that have no face and the lowest rated players, because we're going to have to flip them straight over into youth players from day dot. Strasbourg have picked up Hulk and Areola between the sticks. Soon I've got Giovinco up front. Ramirez is in there. Maicon is in there. Stade de Reims. Haven't really picked up too much other than Silva, but a 4-star team. Stade Rennes, is it? Cavani up front there. Pretty much their only pickup by the looks of things. Toulouse. Fellaini has got himself in there. They're probably got Buffon, and that's probably what's going to carry them through. And then I did one other thing. Obviously, we need to swap PSG down, and we need to bring one team up. So I didn't want one little crappy team. So I went and picked Paris, and basically brought a whole heap of the MLS over here. Yeah, we might have overcompensated with them. Ibrahimovic up front, Martinez, Nani Vella, Wayne Rooney is out there. Granfist was a free agent. Sanya, Schweinsteiger, Armani, I think's from the Argentinian league, and they've got a few extra on the bench as well, just to really bolster them up. So it's going to be a really strong competition there in League 1. And once we finally get up there, I mean, League 2, 2.5 stars, we're going to be able to build a 60 rated team pretty quickly, and you'd feel that we'd be competitive within the first or second season. But then once we get up into League 1, it should be pretty crazy, because I haven't taken any players out of those teams, so they'll be able to sell players off, hopefully generate money. All those regens as well, because a lot of those players are old, will filter back into the French system. So one, we'll have to try and find them, and two, it's going to help those teams out for the future as well. So it should be an interesting career mode. I'm really looking forward to it. Something a little bit different, more of a, I guess, chase the ace style relegation regen rebuild, because we've stacked up all these teams, and I'm happy. I'm happy with how this is progressing and looking. So hopefully you're keen for a big season, a big series here to carry us through to FIFA 20. And that is it. So make sure you're voting in everything. Give me lots of comments, and hopefully we get to start this new series in the next week or two. I'll keep you updated in the community tab and on Twitter when I get around to pushing this out. Obviously, I need to finish the youth edition first and foremost. That is priority one. And we'll have to see how we finish off the season there. Looking okay at this stage with the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and looking like a pretty good team with the Premier League wrapped up now. So that's it. Relegation Regen Rebuild, not too far away. Hopefully you're happy with these rules and stuff. Leave me some comments, ideas and stuff for the Regen era. Get voting, and we'll see you in another video very, very soon. I'm Sparring DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You have a good one. This video is powered by Neurotech and their product Clarity. Now you can jump over to their website now, use the discount code DK10 for 10% off your next purchase, and I highly recommend this product. I use it every single day. It increases your energy, your focus, while reducing fatigue and stress. If you want to know how I get out all these videos and keep that work going, this is the product for you. So go and check it out. All the information that you need is on at that website, and if you feel like making a purchase, chuck in at that discount code for 10% off. Now, if you are looking for more fresh content to check out, you can click one of these 2 videos. If you feel like subscribing, well, there's a button right there. Make sure you put on that notifications bell, and we'll see you next time.